one, and we should be live.
Right.
LiquidForce, how's it going today? Thanks so much for doing the show with me. Good to have you here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you got this website. You got this website,
Yeah, I do.
spacefoundry.com. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about it. I don't know.
All right. So I had an idea of creating a gray marketplace back in, I think it was probably early January. And I talked to some people that were already in the market, got some ideas, and then I just went to work for about a month straight. I don't think I've ever worked that hard on anything in my life before, but it was definitely worth it. And then we launched late February, and now we're 4, 5 months in.
It's so funny because like whenever I hear about that period of time, all I can think about is COVID. So like,
Ex-
do you even have any crazy COVID stories, or do you even remember? Did you know COVID was going on right now, or are you just so busy with?
uh, there's definitely been some stories. I thankfully haven't known anyone personally that has been affected by this virus, and I I've traveled. I think it was 26 hours straight to go and save a brother and to bring him back home until this COVID got over. So that was quite the trip. We were all very tired after that.
What's this about? Saving your brother? How?
Right. So, my brother, he was at college, so we had to obviously, I think it was end of May, we went, me and my other brother, we traveled out there. Um, it was like a 12-hour trip to the East Coast. Had to grab him, unpack his whole entire apartment, and then bring him back. Um, it was just crazy. We were sleeping in the car. Definitely one of the crazier moves that I've ever had.
Yeah. Wow. Where was he? Sorry, where'd you say he was at?
So north, he was on the in New York on the East Coast.
I see. Okay.
Yep.
Going to school there.
So,
Is
yep.
he?
Yeah, he goes there.
Is he a part of Space Foundry? Does he contribute to this project
N-
at all?
No, he does not. He's helped me with some papers that I've had to put together, the contracts and stuff. He's at law school there. He just graduated actually.
Oh, that's a good friend to have for sure.
Absolutely.
So okay. So wait. So what type of like legal documents have you had to submit?
So obviously, I formed an LLC, so we had to go to the Secretary of State for Ohio. Not to get too far into everything, but
Yeah.
we had to create contracts for our sellers. That's how we did it at the very beginning. We had each seller sign a contract stating that they will do what they're supposed to do, and we won't intervene too much.
That's
Just
crazy.
little things like that. Yeah, it's been a huge help.
So what is the sellers? Who are the sellers? What is this? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I should probably give
Yeah,
you a
tell
little
us more
bit
about that.
insight on that. So the sellers are on my marketplace, Space Foundry Marketplace. It's taken off quite a bit, so you can go on the site and you can, if you have any giftable Star Citizen items in your hangar, you can go on the site, register, and list your item to basically try and make some money.
So how do you regulate that? How do you get them to? Is it like international? Like, do your contracts work internationally? Like, how do you hold
Okay.
somebody like that accountable?
Right. So at the beginning, we were doing contracts for every seller. So if a new seller wanted to come in, they would have to go through a pretty long process with me. I would talk them through the whole entire thing. And that was just taking way too much time. So then quite recently, me and my brother, we put together a user agreement. So now that when you register for account, you just agree to the terms. If you don't agree, you can't have an account. But when you agree to the terms go over everything from selling to buying to commenting what you can and cannot do on the site. And that's how we try and regulate it. it's almost impossible to fully regulate a site like this. You kind of have to rely on trust, which is not always the greatest. Um, but that's how we've tried to tackle it so far.
So, what's your history on the gray market trading? Did you start off in Reddit or eBay or something?
This is the most shocking part. I have never sold a ship ever,
Ever. Okay.
ever.
You sound like Jeff Bezos. You know that when you say that. You're like the website that's never had an inventory.
Exactly. It's crazy. I thankfully I've purchased some ships from the gray market. I got to know those sellers quite well. They knew the market very well, thankfully, and so I learned a lot about it from them. I'm still learning every day. There's so many different things you have to account for. Um, it's almost impossible for one person to know all of the rules of the market.
I'm glad you say that because I feel exactly the same way. Like, it's like drinking out of a fire hose. Does that describe it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't you possibly can't hold all of it.
Ah, that's wild, man. So yeah, so why did you even start with Space Foundry? Like, based off of what you're describing so far, it just seems like it came out of nowhere.
It did. So there are obviously other markets out there like the subreddit, and the only other real marketplace that comes to mind is Starhanger.
Yeah.
And if you're aware of that, it's like it's a marketplace where you can go and list items. But I found one of the main like points of it was I found of me starting Space Foundry is I found Starhanger extremely hard to use. If I wanted to find a certain upgrade from, let's say, from 100i to a 135C, I couldn't find it just using a search. It's almost impossible. They didn't have the filter, so I said I can do this better. To say it pretty bluntly, I didn't know what I was getting into at the time. Um, little did I know 6 months later, but I put something together and I got people who believed in me. I actually got investors. How crazy that
Damn
sounds. I
right. That's great.
like
Congratulations.
a year ago, if you said I'd be running this, I'd be like, that's funny. Um, no way. But it's been a wild ride.
Yeah. And if you get yourself up to $500,000 in revenue a year, I'm just saying, just throwing this out here. Shopify has a plus program that deals exclusively with stores like yours. So just keep that in mind.
We'll definitely talk.
Okay, that's great. Oh man, that's so wild. So like, I don't know if you could say this, but like, what's the most popular ship that you have for sale on your store?
So the ship that has sold the most, I'm assuming you're meaning.
Whatever. I don't know what the criteria of success is actually. What is the criteria of success for you?
I don't know.
Hmm.
If you make an impact, I guess.
Whatever you think is like, okay, if you wish that you had more of this ship, which one do you wish you had more of?
Oh, well, it's not a ship exactly, but
Oh,
the F7A upgrade, the
F7A.
Hornet upgrade. It's the rarest item in the game. Um, so it upgrades your F7A to the F7, uh, or your F7 to the F7A military, which is like it's one of the ships that was displayed in the Invictus launch week. They had the F8s and the F7s along with them, and that upgrade, I believe, the first time it went for sale was in 2013 for about $20, and we had one sell for about $220 last month.
Wow. So those
Yep.
ones that originally went for sale, like someone else went out there, scooped them all up, and what did you buy them off of him? Are you like kind of third party purchasing some of these things?
Right. So I don't own anything.
Okay.
I think that's kind of the beauty of it, for me at least. I don't have to manage inventory. I just supply, in my opinion, the best platform to sell Star Citizen items. And then um, they list the item. Um, and people, buyers like you possibly, could come on the site, say you want that upgrade, you add it to your cart, you buy it, and it's delivered to your email via gift, and it's in your hangar.
So there's a lot of people out there that have this, I guess. So they're the ones who originally scooped up that F7A CCU.
Exactly. Yeah. It's definitely a very rare item. I think if I had to say another one, it would definitely be the original Idris, the Legatus or the Legacy Idris, um, because I'm not sure how much you know about the market. I don't know that much, but I do know that you can't trade any item over 1K melt value. So if it has over 1,000 melt value, you can't trade it. And the cool thing about the original Idris is it has an exactly 1K melt value. So it's the only Idris you will ever be able to gift to somebody.
Okay, so
And that's the most expensive ship.
you don't do any black market stuff then, right? Anything that's above 1,000, you can't touch.
No,
Don't go
no, I
anywhere near
don't
it.
do, I strictly prohibit like account sales for example. Yeah, I don't do any black market
Yeah,
at all.
because I mean that's really the meat and the potatoes. What I'm ultimately asking is, has CIG got involved with any of this?
No, they have not. I don't know if they're aware of it. I haven't spoken to them. They haven't contacted me. Um, I assume. I mean, obviously they're lenient. Most games, um, for example, Eve Online, you can get banned if you buy some currency from somebody. In this game, you can trade ships all you want, and it's their terms are basically what the community reads it as. If you buy from the gray market, we won't really help you if a problem comes along.
Right.
So that's how they go about it, in my opinion.
But there was recent changes with the terms of service, wasn't there?
Um, what would you be talking
Oh,
about?
I don't know. I heard it on my stream. I don't know, over the past couple of weeks. Before I asked you to come, it was a subject that was going around my stream quite a bit, saying that there was change to the TOS and it's going to put away with the gray market. Never heard of that?
I I haven't heard any news about that. That would be new news to me.
Okay. Well,
I do know that they made some changes back in 2016, but that's the last time um, anything has come on my radar or any of my sellers' radars
interesting.
that would possibly affect the gray market.
Sometimes as well, I find that Twitch is kind of like a sewing community a little bit in that we talk about things maybe too much. So that could be a majority part of the problem. But it's good that you don't know what I'm talking about. That means it probably doesn't exist. I find,
Maybe it could. I don't know everything.
well, I mean, nobody's showing up on your doorstep right now. A couple of guys in black suits and black glasses isn't
Right? Yeah.
pounding your door down yet. Yet.
Yeah. It's exactly.
What's what what have you like learned mostly from this? What is your biggest challenges? I really thought legal would be a big problem for you, but it's not. So what other challenges have you
Right.
found?
Um, I think one of the main one is, I mean, it's kind of cliche, but learning you can't please everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the things that I'm a one man show. I created the site, built the site, coded the site, branded it, created the logos. Everything was me, and I find myself sometimes always I ask for opinions before I make a big decision. Um, and obviously, people have different opinions, and sometimes it's hard to make a decision. And you just have to go with your gut most of the time, and that's definitely something that I've learned. You really have to go with your gut for the most part, and if something is really wrong and you know that it's not right, obviously you have to change it to make it right. But sometimes you just can't please everybody,
Do you ever get
which
people?
is
Do you ever get people coming by who are like, what you're doing is wrong. You're stealing from CIG and that kind of thing."
um Luckily, not yet. The community, well, the gray market community has been pretty accepting of the new market. I obviously it's a pretty locked down market as far as like new marketplaces coming in. They don't usually succeed. Like I had one of my sellers had their own site similar to mine. They were just selling their items on their site, and they were barely doing 5 sales a month, maybe. And that's when I really just like it set in that like, how did I create this site that's just like disrupting the market so much? It's pretty crazy.
Is that how you describe it? Are you disrupting the market?
I don't think. Well, I probably shouldn't say that.
No, I like it.
We're not disrupting the market yet.
Yet.
I think we will, because the way I chose to do things on the site are next generation, as I like to call it. I use next generation all over the site. You'll see it. You'll see it in advertisements or posts that I'll put up. Um, but I think that, like I said, going back to the reason why I started, we can do better, and I saw the opportunity and took the opportunity, and it is obviously paid off.
Yeah, I think that's really all it takes just to do it. So many people out there just say they're gonna do something, they don't do it. But you took advantage of
Right.
that. Because I mean, like,
Yeah.
what are you offering that's different from, I don't know, Reddit? Really?
Sure. So I think the main thing is the user experience. So when you go on the site, you know, that's like one of the main feedbacks I get. It's like it's the best user experience. I've been on. I've had users come to me and say they've been on every site there is, every market. This is by far the easiest market to navigate and use. I think that's what sets us apart. Um, and we just finished a new well I just finished a new system. I say we a lot, but it's obviously I. And this allows you to search our entire marketplace. I'll get in depth to it a little later, but you can search our entire marketplace for an upgrade. So you enter an upgrade to and an upgrade from ship, and it'll show you all the possible ways to get from the from to the to ship on our site. And that was a huge feat that I recently did, one of my most recent projects.
That's cool.
But
Well,
yeah,
I think there's a lot of barriers of entry to using systems like Reddit. So putting focus towards UX UI, I think is critical. So good for you, man.
exactly.
It's cool you get so much good positive feedback too, because it's your baby, right? People like it.
Exactly. I nurtured it, created it. Um, I don't see me giving it up anytime soon, unless I have to or whatever. But yeah, it's definitely my baby.
I totally get where you're coming from. Yeah, my my baby Star
Your
Racing.
Star Racing, exactly. Yep,
Yeah, but I'm so glad that you did you're doing what you're doing. I'm glad you are because you're taking a smart approach, and I hindsight is 2020, and I think what you're doing is good.
exactly.
I'd like to know more about your involvement with the gray market community right now, or is it? I imagine like all you guys just meet and everyone sits in a circle every week on Friday, and you guys have free coffee and donuts and stuff. Is that kind of what it's like, or what?
Exactly. That's exactly what it's like. Well, not quite. But uh, I don't know. I think it's more the community. It's more accepting than most people say it is. Obviously, people have their own opinion. That's great. You can have your own opinion, um, but I think don't bash it until you try it. I think that's the real thing. If you want to ship and you are going to wait till the November sale, that's great. But I think you should try out the gray market um, and support it. Honestly,
I used to talk to Kane's middleman
absolutely,
services.
yeah,
Yeah, you know him.
yep,
Yeah. Uh,
he's
like,
great.
are you familiar with a lot of the personalities on that subreddit? Did you say you know them?
Yes,
Know them all?
yes. Kane is one of the ones that I've been trying to get on my site. I hope he will eventually get on my site. That's the other thing. The sellers on my site, I, the way that the big sellers that I got on my site are the reason that I'm here. Without them, the marketplace would have zero products. It would have zero sales. It's all the sellers doing. Um, Obviously, I created the platform, but without users, it's just an empty platform.
So I guess you're really like a sales guy then. Your main job is to go out there and find more sellers, get them to use it.
Exactly. And at this point now, we're finding, oh, well, I'm finding again, that people are now starting to just come to my site and ask me to sell or ask to sell on it.
Yeah.
And that's something that's new to me. I'm used to like having to. Sometimes I would buy items from them, get to know how they are, because obviously I don't want people that aren't doing right things on my site.
Yeah.
I want legit sellers, and all you'll find all of the big sellers on my site, except Kane. I'll get him someday.
What's like how do you prevent illegitimate people? Like how do you prevent people from getting screwed over, I guess?
Exactly. So we are still developing a new security system, which I'm actually about to start on next week. But some of the things that I've recently done is the user agreement. Um, and then, so obviously locking down you right now, I have it so I have to manually approve every seller. Um, so you'll find that all the sellers are extremely reliable. They all have 5-star reviews. Um, no one has a 1-star review or a 0-star review on our site. Um, it's all about getting the right people, I guess. And obviously, like going about that, it's really difficult at first, but once I found the first one, I figured out what to look for. I think that's more um, what I'm trying to get to.
What if all of your sellers run out of ships? Will that ever happen? You think?
No.
No, never happen. Everyone's always got something
um,
in stock.
no, that's not gonna happen.
Hmm.
It I don't, I'm not gonna share any like numbers, but that's not gonna happen anytime soon. I can assure you.
Like
Um,
which what?
the hangers some people have are quite ridiculous,
That's true. You're right. Yeah. And
beyond what people believe or even can think about. Let's just put it that way. It's crazy what some people have.
are you taking jobs away from Reddit? Are you discouraging the use of Reddit?
Absolutely not. I actually work with the Reddit mods quite closely. We work with like scam alerts. They do scam alerts. I've been talking with Reddit mods. They um, they actually seem to appreciate what I'm doing, which is great to have. Um, and I obviously am not taking any sales away from Reddit, I would say, because they're obviously growing every single day. You can see that just by looking at the trade history through the past years. They're at an all-time high right now. And I think that supplying well, obviously Reddit, there's a lot of risk involved there. And one of the main reasons I created my site also was to mitigate that risk as much as possible, by trying to control the market as much as possible and who gets on and so forth.
It's interesting. Based off of what you're describing, it actually seems like there's a whole network, a community. Well, it's bigger. It seems bigger than a community. There's a whole network of people who are striving for like genuine commerce within the gray market. You know, it's like you're
Yeah,
creating
yeah,
systems to prevent scammers from existing.
exactly. So it's I call it an industry. It's an industry at this point. If you look at the number, it's easily calculated how big the industry is. It's astronomically bigger than I ever thought it would be. The amount of sales that are done on a daily basis, monthly basis, are mind boggling on the Reddit page alone. I'm not sure what Star Hanger does. I'm not sure how many sales they do, but I'm sure they do quite a few, and that just adds to the total. It's an industry at this point.
What about eBay? Is eBay still something that's popular with the gray
Um,
market?
I think it's dying,
Mm,
a little by little every day. People are realizing that everyone's going to Reddit. Reddit is by far the first place that everybody goes to. Everybody talks about it. Everybody knows the SC Trades subreddit. It's been there since 2012, 2013. Um, it, Everybody knows it. It's obviously where the majority of the trades occur. And the mods there, I do have to give them some praise there. They work incredibly hard on keeping it a safe environment. And they do that very efficiently, in my opinion, compared to um, what it could be.
yeah. No, I agree. I've always felt safer on Reddit. I know it seems weird whenever I describe to people because people come by my channel and they're like, "Oh, how do I get a caterpillar when it's not on sale?" And I'm like, "Well, because they'll go to
Yeah,
eBay first. I don't know why they go to eBay first. They always do." And I'm like, "You should probably check out Mr. Fats. It's great. It's got charts and everything."
exactly. Oh
But
yeah,
I don't know. It's strange, but I always feel safer with Reddit for sure. You ever
absolutely. Yeah, it's a great platform. Yeah.
you ever think about adding some of those charts that Mr. Fats has? Those are great. Let's just see the prices.
Yes, I have. We might be working on those.
Okay.
Well, I might. I do all the work. I do have a friend of mine who helps me with some programming. Um, and that's just because I simply like can't do all of it all at once.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, we're definitely adding some. I guess you would say they're like price evaluators, price comparison. Obviously, it's different our marketplaces because we have the filter system on our site, which makes it easy to search any ship, any type of item. Um, it's a little more difficult on Reddit to find what you want unless you have a seller that you go to every single time. Um, but I feel like that's where the user experience comes in. It's just very easy to find what you want on Space Foundry.
How accurate is the data that we would find on Mr. Fats? Because that's what I use as my main thing. Whenever people talk to me about that, I always bring it up on my stream just to walk people through it. But like, is it really that reliable? Would you say?
Um, are you talking about like the price checking?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it is. The system that um, is there is pretty incredible if you really think about what had to go behind it. Um, it searches the entire subreddit.
Yeah.
Um, Somehow, I'm not exactly
I
sure how
have
he
no
does it. He
idea
somehow
either.
finds the exact lines in tables. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I think it is quite accurate for getting a good estimate of where the price should be. Obviously, you can go to the big shops, and they're gonna have a little bit higher prices um, because they have that reputation, and that's what reputation does. It builds loyalty, and you can um, obviously charge a little more. Some people might think that that's not fair, but it's cheaper than buying it from RSI in the November sale. That's for sure.
Is it? Is it really? I didn't
Yeah.
realize that. I thought you guys always marked up the ships.
Oh, well, no. If you okay, so let's say, for example, um, what's a good example? So like obviously when they have a concept sale, that's the lowest the price will ever be, and the sellers just load up on that item. And then like with the IAE insurance, or even with the Invictus launch week, the prices for the Carrick, I think they were $200 more than what was selling on my site on RSI, just for the Invictus launch week, which was the same exact insurance as the IAE 120 month insurance. They just jack the price way up.
Yeah, and speaking of insurance, how much does insurance actually affect the price, like to affect things of the ship?
Absolutely does. Obviously, LTI is what everyone wants.
Yeah,
There's this craze. I'm not sure even how to describe it, but you see 6 months next to a ship and you disregard it. Like you don't even think about it, but you just go to the LTI one automatically, even if it's $15 more. Um, Insurance obviously doesn't play any role um, in the game right now at all, and won't until they release the full game, which I find just crazy that it plays such a big part in price, especially now.
Jad here in chat said that they're selling an Aurora starter pack for $5 less than CIG. So
Yeah.
why would they do that? Why would they undercut CIG? Why wouldn't they at least match them at the same price? They want to get rid of them that badly?
I would assume that those, well, I would assume hopefully that's like a reputable seller, and they're not trying to do anything fraudulent. But I would assume that they bought that pack when it was $35. I think it was once 35, maybe 30. They loaded up on that, waited, because obviously the game's going to go up. The price to enter is going to go up. It's always going to go up. Um, and then they just sold it for $5 less, maybe 2 years later,
Right.
and are making money from it. That's basically how the market works. You buy early and sell later for the profit.
So either way, these gray market guys, they got a ton of ships. How much do you think some of these guys would have invested in this game?
Um,
Just
I've
ballpark.
done some calculations on my site with the data that I have, and that's just my site. Um, I've, uh, I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars
Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
easily,
So that means that there's probably people who've invested over $1 million in this game.
easily.
That's
It
wild.
is, it is wild. In my mind, it's an investment. It's you're investing at the game at that point. You are like a serious investor. You're not playing the game anymore. This is not a video game. This is a
Totally.
business.
But you know what though? And like you think about this investment, and this investment is almost like well, Nubifier describes it as an attachment because of the investment. So we're attached to this video game because we've, put this money into it. We legally we don't have any ownership over the game, but I feel like we kind of do a little bit, or I don't know. It's like squatters' rights almost. We should have a claim to ownership a little bit. We should be allowed to have a gray market. That's what I think.
Right. I think that the fact I give kudos to CIG, the fact that they've allowed this market to grow. Obviously, they're not hurting from it. I wouldn't say they're obviously doing fine financially. Um, it's just another part of the game at this point. When the game fully releases, I believe people are going to have shops in game that are tied to the Reddit marketplace or my marketplace. Um, and they're going to make transactions in game, um, and maybe be able to transfer the ship real time to that person. Um, and I think that's where hopefully the future of this marketplace is going, to real time transfer. So
Do,
there's no delay.
do you ever see like a future where CIG could be competing with the gray market? Do you think they
As
could?
far as, well, no. Any new player, I believe, does not know about the gray market. Well, the majority of them, they are clueless to the gray market. You'll find that, well, I find that through, I think we have a lot of users on our site, and they're all very they've been playing the game for a while. They're not brand new. We do have a few that come in, maybe they Google search and they find our marketplace, but they are all knowledgeable, and I don't think that it will ever financially, like negatively financially impact CIG. Um, I think that, I mean, the game is obviously growing. I mean, they're still doing record sales. They made like $2 million in one day at the Invictus launch week. That's, I mean, the gray market's not going to be able to compete with that.
Right.
So, I mean, obviously, I would be wrong for saying that it's not a possibility, but it's not a um, maybe reality is not the right word, but it's I don't think it's going to happen in my opinion.
I mean, it's okay to skim off the top even. $2 million a day. It's okay to skim off the top there.
Exactly. I mean, they're doing just fine, and
Yeah.
the game is in alpha. Let's remember that. Not
Yeah.
even released, and they're gonna. I'm sure the game's gonna. The entry point's gonna be well over $60 for the base package by the time the game releases. So they're just gonna keep marking up prices, making more money, more
Yeah.
users, more money.
Yeah, and the more they mark up those prices, the more money the gray market potentially could make. So they win and you guys win, right? So I think that's pretty good.
I think possibly, yeah. I think you can say that.
Yeah. The I don't know. What was you said you bought a ship off the gray market. Which one did you buy or have bought, I guess?
Um,
Or you don't
I've
need to say. Sorry.
I've bought um upgrades.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, not ships. Yeah,
Okay.
I misspoke. I think I bought the. Let me think. I think it was when the freelancer miss was not available on the RSI site. Um, and I purchased an upgrade. I think it was from the Cutlass Black to the freelancer miss.
Okay.
But I've
Uh,
only bought a few items from the gray market.
I was just curious what kind of Star Citizen player you are really. What kind of ship you're
Oh,
looking forward to. That was
um, well, I don't have too many ships, um, but I currently the Max is definitely my favorite ship
nice.
by far, um, and hopefully I can eventually get a Carrack. That would be. I think that's just in my opinion, it's the best ship in the game right now.
Ha. I think the Pisces
E-
is.
Oh, I have the Pisces.
Right?
I do like that ship. It can actually fit in the back of the Max
It's
if
a
you're
great
careful.
ship. It's the best ship, man. Every time. Don't hesitate. I wanted to look at what Jad was saying here because this is kind of alluding what I was thinking is like if CIG just opened up saying we're selling ships every day, would that put an end to the gray market, you think?
Mm. So if they opened all ships for sale,
Yeah.
I've thought about that. I've talked to people about it. It could very easily just put an end to the gray market, and that's the risk that people are taking. I assume. I mean, they could wake up the next day and the gray market's gone because you can just buy the ship on the RSI site. Obviously, it won't die out instantly. There'll definitely be a slow decline, I would say, because I know some people who only buy from the gray market. They don't buy from CIG. They
That's
bought the game
interesting.
package and they only buy from the gray market.
What's their reasoning behind that?
So some people say they just want to support other players in their strive to um, basically supply the player base with ships that are not attainable currently. Some say that they simply just um, that they simply just like supporting sites like mine. I've had people say come on my site and say that they only will buy from my site from now on. It varies quite a lot.
Hmm. That's interesting. Okay, well, I'm not worried about it. I think what you're doing is okay. Everyone's got to do
Yeah,
their own thing.
hopefully it keeps going the way it is, and hopefully we can expand.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you know what? The weird thing is, I'm just shocked to hear that only people are going to buy off the gray market. Because what about the gold 600i? You know, I thought everyone's kind of striving to achieve that.
Exactly. I was thinking that in my head while I was saying that. I have some people that just signed up to be a seller, and that's the reason they want to.
Ah, that's a good
That's the
reason.
reason they want to sell.
That's a good reason. Yeah.
They say that I want to buy all these ships, but I don't necessarily want to own them. I don't want to go into that financial um, debt or burden or whatever. Um, I want to get there, get the ship, and get out, basically. And that's completely fine to me.
Do you know Crazy Tonk Guy? Have you heard of Crazy Tonk Guy before?
Absolutely,
Okay, good.
absolutely.
Him and I were best buds. We play Star Citizen together. So,
Yeah, he actually sells on my site.
oh, he does? Okay, that's great.
He does.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Yeah, because that's what he's trying to do. He's, well, racing to get the 600i. So, gold
Exactly.
600i.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't get it.
Yep. A couple of my friends have it, and I'm a little jealous.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow. It's so stupid, but still it's hilarious at the same time.
Yeah, it's something. It's
When
crazy.
when did you start playing Star Citizen?
That's okay. It's about to be 3 years. End of July will be
Okay.
3 years. Yep. Um, so I started, and the current organization I'm a part of, it was four guys, and they invited me to play. And then we were like, well, we can actually get along pretty well. So we created an organization. Now there's 200, 300 people in it.
Good for you.
And yeah, that's separate from Space Foundry, but yeah,
What's the
it's
org? I want to
it.
look it up really quickly.
It's the link here. I'll just send this. You may send our website in the chat.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, wherever you want.
All right.
I want to check it out. I like reading about people's orgs. I just find it so fascinating. And also, like it kind of shows me the type of player you are. It's a lot you can
Absolutely.
tell about a person by that.
Actually, I will just send it over in Discord.
Okay.
I'm not signed in right now. It's just istdsc.org.
Oh
And
shoot.
the
All right.
the org name is Imminent Solutions Tactical Defense.
Imminent Solutions Tactical Defense.
It's quite a long name.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been a part of it for almost going, well, more like 2.5 years about.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. Okay, I got the
Yep.
link. ISTD. That's funny.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, the guy in chat, Lewis, that's the head honcho of it.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
Yep.
Fleet hanger. Very nice. This is good. So,
Yeah, and
go
on
ahead.
that one, I actually created our hangar. That took a while to create, but are you familiar with fleetyards.net?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I used their API
Nice.
in Google Forms to create a hangar based on our org.
I'm actually going to bring this up on the main screen. I'm really impressed by this right now. Actually, this is really cool.
Yeah, web development's always been in me, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool. Same here, but not out of choice. It's always just, it's like doing the dishes. It's always there.
Right.
Oh, okay, Captain Lewis. I see the link now. Okay, so this is cool.
Yeah,
I like this.
that one might be broken. I'm
This
not
is
sure.
broken?
That's a roster that I
Yeah.
created, and then just some little charts.
Is it still JavaScript?
No, that's just Google.
Oh.
Google Sheets
What?
embedded.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Right.
Well done, sir.
Yep. Yeah, I use Google Sheets for the database. It's a little janky, but I've basically mastered Sheets at this point.
Yep.
Through all the work that I've done, creating like pretty much a working database, automated, completely automated. Yeah, it's crazy.
So how
That's
come
yeah.
How come there's different like divisions? How do the different divisions work, or how is that relevant?
So yeah, if you click on one, it'll give you a brief outline. So that's like a ground unit. Um,
Oh.
and we have different, I think 172nd is logistics,
Oh,
968th
I see.
is recon, 208th is strike wing. So like um, the hammerheads and such, F8s. And then we have the eighth, which is just our kind of balancer, making sure everybody's in line. That's our just one guy runs that one.
Are you a military guy? Did you go to the military?
I didn't
No.
actually. We
Okay.
do have a lot of people in our org who have been
Lots
though,
of people
who've
in Star
served.
Citizen that do that.
Yeah, it seems to be quite a common link between everybody.
I'm Canadian, so I don't actually know anything about the military. So
Oh yeah. I don't know too much. My grandfather was in the military, in the Air Force, but I did not serve.
that's cool. So
Mhm.
yeah, I don't even know anything about combat in Star Citizen, to be totally honest with you. I just do logistics every day. My Caterpillar.
Oh, oh yeah, cargo runs.
Yep, that's it. That's my life.
I do like doing combat. Do you're familiar with Regzilla?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay. I used to. You remember he used to do. I don't. Well, obviously he's on Warzone now, but he used to do those battle royales.
yeah.
Yeah,
Those are
I
great.
used to participate in those
Oh,
quite a lot.
that's cool. Oh, good for you,
Yeah.
man.
Um, and then Captain Burks. Are you familiar with him?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been long time watcher player. I've played with him several times. Well,
Cool.
basically anytime I'm on the stream, I'll hop in the game. He's
That
awesome.
that's cool. How do you get hooked up with these high profile people, man? That's pretty cool.
uh, I don't know. I guess maybe it's luck.
Yeah. Well, they all know you're a baller, I guess. Rexil is cool, and I don't. I wish that he could. I hope he comes back. I loved his videos, and
Yes.
yeah, I think that's all I need to say.
I actually messaged him um, regarding Space Foundry. Well, no, I was going to message him. I went on Twitch. I haven't watched him for a while at that point, and I realized that he doesn't do Star Citizen anymore,
Yeah,
and that he moved to Facebook, and he got apparently this big deal to move to Facebook, and great for him. I hope he comes back and plays though. He's awesome.
I agree. I think he did a lot for the community as well. So
Absolutely,
kind of introduced the game in a certain light that's appealing to most people, and
absolutely.
I think a lot.
He
But
definitely knew how to organize a big group.
isn't that amazing? Like I
I don't
could,
know how he did it.
I wouldn't be able to do what he does, for sure.
No, everyone listens. Everyone stops talking when he
Yeah,
talks. It's
yeah.
crazy.
I don't know how he does it, man. I'd like to know what. Do you know what he does in his real life, by any chance? I don't.
He's a streamer.
That's it. He just does the streaming. Huh?
Yep.
But,
I mean, as far as I know, I'm not best friends with him, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a full time streamer.
well, yeah. Well, I hope he comes back. That's cool. You get to play with him and Captain Burks. I haven't played with either of these guys. You should come play with me sometime. We'll do trade. It's so chill.
Absolutely, yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, I do love trading. It's there's something about it. It's just relaxing sometimes.
Are you are you shipped out? Do you still get excited about ships?
Absolutely,
You still do.
I'm excited about the Rock.
You're excited about the Rock. Wow.
Who isn't?
I guess that
I
that isn't
think.
even up for
Well,
sale yet, is it? Not yet.
no.
How much do you
It
think it's going to be
well,
on for?
um, it's supposed to release 310, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think might not be the most useful, but it's fun. It'll definitely be a new gameplay aspect,
Well, the
which will be
mining
fun to explore.
the mining people of Star Citizen, I find, are the most passionate. They really care about their
Yes,
game. So
absolutely.
yeah,
The spreadsheets that they've put together are
totally.
crazy. Yeah.
And well, they keep a lot of their secrets too, which I find is very fascinating because I didn't think there was really much in Star Citizen yet, but these guys have they've gone through all of it. I feel like they covered every square
Exactly.
kilometer so far trying to find,
Exactly.
and they know where everything is. That's phenomenal, man. So I'm curious what they
Mm.
can tear apart with this rock now. Curious to see what comes
Yeah,
on.
I'm not sure if it's not a replacer. It's not going to replace the prospector. It's maybe if you're doing a mission and you spot something, you can bring it along in your cutlass or whatever. I think that's the smallest ship it can fit in. Um, but I think it's going to be just like a little addition. It's not going to be a replacer of anything.
Yeah, maybe introduction for more ground vehicles to come. I'm not too sure. Um,
Yeah,
I did want to ask as well, how was your Invictus week? Like, how did your Invictus week affect your store?
sure. Do you know the dates on that?
Oh goodness, I don't know.
I
I
think
mean,
it was end of May,
yeah, that sounds about
I
right.
think.
We're in July now. Well, either way, I'm just curious because I feel like it's a warm up, a little bit of a warm up for the anniversary sale. Like, are you nervous for the anniversary sale?
Okay, okay. No.
No.
The weird thing is we're still growing. So all of the numbers that I have to take them with a grain of salt because um, we haven't been here for years. We don't have a consistent sales. We don't have consistent growth. Like we've grown like I think our first month we grew 600%, and like you can't just like say, oh yeah, we're gonna grow 600% this month too. So I have no idea what's gonna happen for the November sale, um, but I'm definitely gonna prepare for it.
Yeah.
Do all that I can.
I just wonder, like, when you have something like the Invictus sale, if everyone stocks up, so you have like a surplus of inventory, or I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
I,
Well, definitely when the G12s came out. I'm not. You're probably familiar with like the LTI
yep,
tokens,
LTI tokens.
right? So that's the big craze with the Rock now. I think
Oh, I
around
see.
the community.
Yeah.
Um, they say I've heard like 50, 60, $70, maybe 80 at max. Um, but I think that's going to be people are going to buy that quite a lot for the LTI. Just speaking on gray market terms. Um, that's going to be a big seller. Obviously, people do just sell the rock once it goes off sale. It's the beauty of the gray market. You can find anything, well, almost anything, anytime.
The one thing about Rock, though, I think that might be different from the G12 is that CIG has expressed that the money that you pay in the real world should be an expressive of how much they're capable of making in the virtual world. So, the Rock should cost a little bit more than that. Maybe it'll be like $100 or something. I don't know.
That is true. Yeah. Well, I mean, the prospector's 150, 155, something like that.
The Prospector's really old too. You know?
That's true. I don't know. Definitely right around 100, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe a little lower. It's a safe bet.
Is there ever like a is there ever like a price point where it doesn't make sense to buy an LTI token? Like, is an LTI token ever too expensive?
I would say if you're buying it for the sole reason of an LTI token, there is a point. I would say it's around. I mean, I don't have selling experience. I know a lot of sellers. I would have to say 100 is pushing it. Obviously, the I think one of the best LTI tokens there have been in a while are the Rangers, because
Mm.
those were like $35 and
Yep.
people were buying so many of them. It's unreal how many people still have quantity of them just remaining. But it's definitely going to be an interesting sale. Definitely the first ground miner. It's going to be fun.
It's so strange that these ground vehicles you can LTI up to spacecraft. You know what I mean? Like some of them you can LTI, some of you can't,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. So it's a weird thing. I guess CIG went about it basically if it's you can go from ship A to ship B as long as ship B's melt value is greater than ship A, or it could be a ground vehicle to a ship or a ship to a ground vehicle. Um, they didn't really take into realism to that at all. They're basically saying if you want to get from that ship to that ship, you can, but you'll have to pay for it.
You really got to know your LTI tokens if you're going to be a gray market seller, hey?
Yeah, it you can't if you're thinking about jumping in, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. You have to do your research. You have to know people. You have to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You can. I have people asking me questions all the time. Sometimes I don't even know them, so I ask other people. Um, it's definitely it's a good community
Are there
for
people who
learning.
come to you asking how do I start becoming a gray market trader?
Absolutely, all the
Yeah,
time.
really.
So I have a live chat on my site, which connects directly to my phone. So if you're talking on that site, you're talking to me. Um, or if you're talking on the live chat, you're talking to me. Obviously, the Discord for the Space Foundry is open all the time. You can join that. Message me anytime. Uh, I do sleep sometimes, but most of the time I'm online answering questions, helping people out.
Okay, that's cool. What about the like? What's your involvement with the org? Do you also have to manage this org as well?
Right. So the org, I do all of the development aspects for, so like the hangar and all of that. We do events from time to time. Obviously, lately it's been quite slow. Um, just from the basis of the game, the game has really not been in a great spot for a while.
Yeah.
Hopefully, 310 changes this, and we can actually play the game for more than 30 minutes. That would be great. Um, but besides that fact, yeah, I am involved with the org. I am like the second in command, you would say, the XO. And we built a pretty thorough um, lineup of ranks all the way through. It's a PMC, so private military contractor. We A lot of our users are have served at some point, so we definitely get uh, a lot of people who served.
When's the next event?
When's the next event?
When's the next event? Yeah.
310 release.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we haven't done an event in a while, but we started. Oh, it's been probably a year and a half now. We started the Combined Arms series. So it's basically we create a scenario. It's a pretty long scenario of like pirates versus the good guys. And we create this like it's about a 2 hour mission, and we try and get 50. I think first one was like 30, 40, and we plan the whole thing out. We record it, we do video, we get people to stream it, um, and hopefully we can get one going very soon for 310 if everything stabilizes. Like I said, it's been hard to play the game lately.
That's cool. So you actually have streamers in your org as well. Who's anybody I know streaming?
Um, okay. Do you know? Well, not necessarily in our org. We created like a separate thing we call Combined Arms Series. So it's like I don't know, it's like a little community. But we have, let's look. I think we have. Do you know? Are you familiar with? He's on YouTube. What's his name? Like the biggest streamer, Acidero. Are you familiar with
I'm
him?
not. You know, I don't know too many YouTube people. It's a whole different
Okay.
world that YouTube plays.
It really is,
Yeah.
but he's not in it. But a few guys that stream with him are in the org or in the community that stream. They do a great job. And then we have a few smaller streamers that are just there just to get more footage.
It's crazy how big Star Citizen is, and it's not even that big, which is
It
scary.
it is crazy. I think what are we at? Like, did we hit 3 million yet?
I'm gonna check right now, actually.
Yeah, I know we were at 2.6 the last time I checked. I don't know when that was. It seems to be like the last time.
2.7.
2.7.
2.737, yeah.
So, and we were growing like, I think it was like 30,000 people a day during the Invictus launch week, maybe more than that.
Invictus is crazy.
It is crazy. Hopefully we can get Squadron 42 update. I don't know. Goodness.
You know what's nuts about Invictus is like I've never seen so many new people at one time. And
yes,
they're like
the game was broken.
Yeah, I know. I felt like it was like
broken.
I felt like it was like Saving Private Ryan, you know, that opening scene on the beach. That's how I felt all the new people, man. They're just getting shot down and it's like blood's all over the place. And I'm like, is this the best time to be doing this?
It's like they were just pushing it so hard. They did not know what was going to come. They didn't see the guy who was going to, I don't know. That was such a bad experience for new people. I can't imagine that being my first experience with the game.
I can't
I don't
either.
know if I'd ever play it again.
But you know what? I asked a lot of the new people, and they were like, "Whatever. This is how it is. We get it. It's a really pretty game that you guys are playing." So if anything, it managed their expectations, so they know what to take going forward.
Yeah, at least they set a nice low standard.
Always overpromise or underpromise, overdeliver. That's how you do it.
There you go. There you go.
How is your Invictus though? Did you like seeing all those capital ships? Was that exciting?
I did. I was actually a part of, did you see Captain Burks during that?
Oh, I don't know. So many people are doing so many things.
He was taking down the Idris. Yeah. He was the first one to do it.
Well, oh, that's right. He was. Yes.
Yeah. So I wasn't a part of that one.
No.
I was a part of the next one.
Okay. That must have been cool.
But it was crazy. We had so many people in the party. I think that's the biggest Discord server I've ever been in.
Well, was it a full server, like 50 people to take down the Idris? Yeah. Really?
We group launched. It was, I think we had 45, 46.
Wow. And like, what kind of ships were really required? Prospectors, I guess.
So, well, we had hammerheads and 890s.
And why 890s? That's so random.
To push it.
To push it
so it couldn't dock. That was the big issue. Because you couldn't possibly kill it in the time frame. Okay. So you had to push it out of the path. Sometimes you'd get it into atmosphere and it would ram into the ground and blow up. That's what happened the first time.
Right. Yeah.
And then they killed it off. But yeah, you can ram it with the 890 and push it quite a ways.
Damn. Nobody told me this. Here I got the 890 for nothing.
Yeah, we tried to do the javelin. We're unsuccessful. A little bit too much. And then they decided to beef up. And then they started firing back at us, and we couldn't do anything about that. Something
that really kind of confused me during the whole Invictus moment was Alien Week and that stupidity that was involving with the BMM. Did you see that? The sale they had with the BMM? And everybody was buying a BMM?
Yes. I don't know what that was about.
But you know it was weird, right? You agree it's weird. Yeah.
It was quite weird. I don't know how to describe it. It was just like out of nowhere. It was like, I guess I'm gonna sell lots of Banu merchantments now.
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of talk about, and then like of course the discussion came back up of what the Banu merchantman is gonna look like, what they've done to it, the cutbacks and all that. That just really wasn't great for the community either, but it's just weird.
You think they're cutting it back?
in terms of size. Oh wait, no,
Mm.
they're making it bigger, aren't they?
Well, we don't really know. That's why I find it interesting because what you're saying makes sense. They're cutting it back because that's a stupid low price. And like if we go back to the original concept of it, we would expect $800,
Right.
$900 for this ship.
Exactly. Like it's a floating marketplace.
Yeah.
And if it, like what you said, if you're talking about how much money you can make off of it, you should be able to make quite a lot of money if you just get the material and sell it on the ship. Um, so I would assume it would be worth quite a lot.
Yeah, like everyone's going to put that thing on the gray market, slap $900 on and you're guaranteed people are going to buy it, right?
Right. And put it on limit. I don't know. It's whatever, whoever's making the call up in CIG headquarters. I don't know what they're doing.
It makes me wonder like now we have a surplus of BMMs. Like everybody I feel like is going to have a BMM, but they don't seem to care about that, I guess, or I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know when. So I guess we can talk about like beta or release. I guess what ship we're gonna see. What's the ship that everyone? Well, for the people that have been playing for a while that have the ships, what's the ship that people are gonna go out and make money with? Is it gonna be the cat? Is it gonna be the Bandit Merchantman? If so, then how are they gonna regulate or control everyone that has a Bandit Merchantman just exploiting it? If it's going to make if it's a cash grab.
And
I don't know.
for me as a Caterpillar pilot, I can't imagine a BMM being in the same league. Like I feel like the BMM should just be like a Kraken, the smaller version of the Kraken. But I don't know, man. I
I
don't
agree with
know.
that. I agree with that. It's the privateer that has the marketplace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. It's definitely set up for some interesting gameplay.
Yeah, for sure.
That's for
Well,
sure.
there's going to be lots of BMMs out there. TLDR.
Exactly.
What
I don't know if I'll ever get into one, own one myself, but they're definitely they look nice. What
yeah.
can you say?
Yeah. Do you like the Defender? You a fan of that ship?
I find myself not a big fan of any of the alien ships.
Yeah.
Um, if that's shocking, I don't know. I'm a big fan of the Caterpillar.
Cool.
That's the ship that got me into the game.
Nice. Me
I
too.
know that Lewis in the chat is not a big fan of Drake,
Oh, such a shame.
but yeah, Drake is definitely my favorite. See, yeah, he's a big MISC guy.
Oh,
Aegis.
okay.
Sorry,
Oh,
Aegis.
Aegis. Yeah.
Aegis.
He must be a military guy then.
He is.
I see.
Um, but yeah, I like the Drake. I like the feel of it.
Me too.
Um,
There you go. Captain Lewis, that's for you.
yeah. Yep. I have those on my Discord server there. Well, no, not those. Have you seen those bit the pixel emojis that people have made? The bit pixel things?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I've seen lots of emojis, so
Okay.
yeah.
I think it was a few years ago. Here, I'll post one in Discord. But they make them um, like this. They make them out of dots. And there's a guy who made I think 20 or so of the ships, and they're really well done. That's just it's crazy the amount of just talent that people are willing to put into this game
Oh yeah,
with
for
almost
sure.
no return.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, I try to get as many people like you on this podcast as possible because there's a lot of people doing incredible things just in relation to this game that I think that people aren't telling the story of, and we should hear your story.
Absolutely. Yeah. I, I, it hasn't really settled in what I've done. I don't think it ever will. I think it's just, I'm always working on the site, making it better, fixing things. Um, and like people will request a feature and the next day I'll build it and have it in. It's just, it's very, um, it's not traditional development, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, and if you ever need a
I
hand,
guess
I'm happy to help out. Just FYI.
absolutely.
I also wanted to ask you, what's your 3 favorite ships, if you don't mind me asking?
Three favorite
Yeah,
ships. Okay.
hardest question.
Um, yeah, that is a hard question. I don't have to own them, right?
No, whatever. Yeah, whatever
Okay.
you want.
Um, ooh, okay.
That's what I was
Carrick.
thinking, Captain Lewis.
Carrick.
Carrick.
Um, Caterpillar, and then I think, oh man, let's see. I I gotta go with the Gladius.
Gladius.
Yep.
That's an interesting choice.
I love flying the Gladius. It's a great flyer.
Well, I think it's like
And it's the OG.
that's true too. Yeah. I think that it flies really well. I get a lot of people who have mentioned to me they really enjoyed the Gladius because it's so fine tuned. It's like they're the ship they do all their testing on, so it gets the most
Exactly.
attention.
Yeah.
It's literally like a Cadillac. It's got all the bells and whistles as far as Star Citizen features go. So
Yeah. If the new feature, you're gonna find it on the Gladius.
actually, I 100% agree with your selection. I think you're right on the money there. You got the Carrack, the Gladius, and the Caterpillar. That's probably the best 3. Carrack is the Pisces. They're one and the same, so that counts.
Exactly. Yeah. They
That's
come
2
with
for
each
1.
other.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Well, I'm really not sure then. What else do we got here? What would you say to CIG if you could give the chance, just in regards to your project?
About Space Foundry.
Yeah. What would you say to them?
Let me set up a booth at CitizenCon.
Ooh, that's
Yep.
cool. Oh man, I hope so. I hope so.
I would love to set up a booth. Come there. Maybe bring some t-shirts, some merch, give it away. Absolutely.
Hmm. Okay.
I don't think the gray market's the kind of booths they're looking for, but I'll try. I definitely will try.
Yeah. Damn, that's really fascinating. I didn't expect you to say that. Um, cool. Well, how has 310 been for you? Do you enjoy it? Do you played it much? Are you in PTU?
I um obviously, well, I traveled all day today,
Yeah.
but I did get to play it the 2 days before. Um, the change in the ships, the flying is, I don't know if I like it. Just flying my max, it felt so lethargic,
Hmm.
just so slow. Um, like I was finding myself, it was hard to take off even from the Microtech New Babbage, and I don't know. I was expecting the Max to always be just the ship that you can get in and go. It's not this massive caterpillar, but it's still big enough to make some money with.
I can express an opinion right now, and it is the opinion of a trader, of a seasoned trader in Star Citizen. I think that this could be the future of MISC ships, what you're experiencing right now. I think that the Freelancer was OP up until now.
I I think so. I think it seems like the popular position, opinion between people are that everything was overly um, aerodynamic. You can move it too quickly. They didn't put much weight into the game, and now there's lots of weight in ships, and people have mixed opinions on it. And I'm not sure if it'll end up like hover mode.
I hope not.
Hopefully not. I think, I don't know. In my opinion, it's a little too heavy. I haven't flown. I flew the Max, the Gladius, and I think it was the Pisces. I think they could lighten everything up still a little bit,
Yeah.
but just my opinion. What do
It,
I know about flying?
do
I'm
you
just a software developer.
do you have opinions about the no fly zone? Have you seen that at all, or?
Yeah, so I don't I wish the entire world was free
Mm-hmm.
to fly anywhere. That's my opinion. No matter the griefers. Um, Obviously that's an issue that it's hard to deal with. Um, it's kind of like how I have to protect sellers and buyers on my site. You
Mm-hmm.
can't really um, do everything. You can't please everybody. But I think that they made a mistake limiting it. Again, it should be an open world. You should be able to fly in between buildings. So
Um, yeah, I agree. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It's fun. I like new challenges though, recklessly so.
right.
Um, how does the STDs like the combat changes? That's what I'm calling your org now. The STDs. It's intentional, right?
Yeah, we get that quite a lot.
Okay,
That
good.
seems to be the classic move there. But I don't know. We haven't done. Obviously, it's still brand new to everybody except Evocati. I don't think we're gonna make any decisions until live comes out because they're still gonna be tweaking things. Um, but I think obviously you said how does your caterpillar feel? Does it feel different? Do you like it now?
I'm used to it. My brain is adjusted to it. I love it. Like I just love the challenge and like the when I go decoupled on it, I feel it and I'm anticipating that weight now. So I'm ready.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're obviously all of our traders are definitely going to have to adjust. I mean, no matter what ship you fly, I guess now. Um, but we'll see what actually goes into live. Um, maybe it'll grow on me. I haven't played it that much, obviously, but we'll see. Definitely see.
I'm really curious about the combat system though, because that's not something I know nothing about, and I haven't seen too much salt on Reddit about it. I mean, I was really waiting for the salt. I had a bowl of popcorn and everything, but there doesn't seem to be that much about combat. So I guess they did a good job.
Right. Well, I actually haven't tried a 310 combat at all.
Okay.
So I can't really speak much on the subject. I did like the combat before. I did lots of bunker missions. Loved those. I liked the AI. The AI got way more difficult um, last patch, and it's actually a challenge to go into the bunkers now, and you can get killed quite quickly if you don't have a team and squad to clear, know what to do. But yeah, I'll definitely let you know when I get on to 310
That's cool. Yeah. So I guess
about
you
FPS.
haven't tried the new electro gun yet, then? Hey.
No,
No.
I have it. I have it. But I definitely that's the one that I want to try out first.
Yeah,
They
me
definitely
too.
hyped it up a lot in video.
You
That's for
hyped it
sure.
up. Which video is this? I didn't know you did videos.
The no the Star Citizen Live, the one where they displayed it,
Oh, I see. Okay.
just the between the characters, how it goes between. That seemed to cause some conversation in the community,
Yeah.
and I think it'll be a great weapon.
I don't see them talking too much about that now. Like nothing combat related am I really seeing so much on Reddit.
Right?
Quite surprised
Yeah.
by that.
Hmm. Um, yeah. Hopefully, I don't know. I think Theaters of War is something that I was looking forward to,
Mhm.
and then they were like, "We're gonna have a test this weekend." We didn't really hear much about it. Um, I just hope that hopefully it comes out soon. Hopefully they put it into test because I think that's what will give it the FPS a much more friendly and um, like a natural feel to from coming to from other games. It's much more like a team deathmatch. battlefield type play, which people are used to. People aren't used to having to fly out in your spaceship, landing on a planet, and then traveling into a bunker to clear that.
It's true. It could be a generational difference, to be honest, because that's kind of what I would expect, at least from a MMO. But I also
Right.
play like a lot, or I came from playing Microsoft Flight Simulator, so I'm very slow in most regards. So I'm not
Right.
looking.
I definitely came from I played lots of Battlefield 3, 4, um 5 was awful. I played Battlefield 1, um and then all the Call of Duties. So I definitely like FPS games. I never was in the competitive CS:GO type games, but I definitely like just the team deathmatch type play, and I think that it'll grow, um, especially with the use of like the rover and I forget what ships they had, maybe the Gladius inside that small map. It's definitely a fun play style that people I think it'll grow on a lot of people.
I'm still kind of getting used to this play style. It's so interesting though. Like ever since I started getting knee deep into this stuff, I'm seeing aspects of gameplay I've never heard of before. Like, like people like you who have played a career essentially of FPS games, and I'm also seeing these careerists of DCS. Like, I wouldn't say
Exactly.
competitive, but highly focused combat flight. It's amazing, and we're getting all these people together and we're putting them all under the same roof, and it's a heck of a party, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely is incredible. I think CIG, I noticed in the recent Star Citizen Live when they went over all of I forget his name, but the guy who did the Gladius and the Saber, they went over all the ships and they were talking about how ambitious the game was. And the designer who isn't, I don't know if he officially works for CIG or not. I think he's a freelance. Um, but he says the game is ambitious. And the people at CIG did not say ambitious. I forget the word they use exactly, but they obviously avoided ambitious. I found that was very interesting to me, um, of why. I mean, it's obviously a very ambitious title, maybe one of the most ambitious titles ever. Um, Trying to combine so many different game genres into one. I don't know. It's very interesting.
I think I think they strive to get the Oasis, and I think that the only way to get the Oasis is to do this, is to combine all the game genres. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
You're familiar with the Oasis? Like if I say Oasis, you know what I mean, right? From Ready Player One.
Right, right. Yep, yep.
Yeah. So I mean that
Yeah, I
is
watched the book, read the book, watched the movie.
what. Yeah. Well, I think like that is a goal of theirs, and from how I look at it is, if they don't achieve the Oasis, somebody else is, and it's probably going to be EA or it's going to be Blizzard or something like that. So uh,
Right.
I support their ambition, I guess.
Yeah. It is an ambition. That's for sure. It's crazy what just this one game has started. Um, Seems like everybody's trying to compete with this title, and I mean, obviously, I want this to become like the biggest game um, ever when it releases. I think when it releases, it will be the biggest game. Um, no matter well, even if they don't release it with like whatever, like 100 systems or whatever they were saying, 50 or 100, I think it will still be the biggest space sim, especially at launch. But like you were saying with the Oasis, it's when you add VR to a game, it just takes the game to the next level.
Totally.
People that haven't played with VR, you just have to. It, it's it makes it feel so realistic that you like go into the Oasis.
I think that like I don't expect VR this time next year, but I think if they can get the Vulkan integration added, that it'll be quite a sight. maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Vulcan has been a big thing that I've been excited about for a while. It seems like they've been trying to get it in for maybe over a year now. They settled that claim with or the lawsuit with CryEngine lawsuit,
Yeah.
and I think things are looking better for the Vulcan. I'm not sure exactly, but hopefully, yeah, we get VR soon, and especially that with the FOIP um, head tracking VR, it's gonna be a crazy game to play.
Well, they did mention that it was one of their goals is to complete Vulkan integration by this year. So
Oh,
here's hoping.
yeah, that's good. Hopefully that gets done.
By the way, the guy that you're referring to from CIG who did the Gladius, that's
Yes.
Gavin Rothery, and he was on the Star Citizen Live last week. He's a film director, and he had a movie that actually came out last week.
Yes.
Isn't that wild? The movie is called
Yes.
Archive.
That is wild.
It is wild.
Like these guys are creating a video game and like, oh yeah, I just released my movie.
Yeah.
It's like,
Imagine
what?
imagine
You're a
being
video
like
game designer.
imagine being on the set of that movie and talking to one of the people, and he would be like, "Oh yeah, on the side I got a part-time job where I make spaceships in a video game."
Yeah. It's the people at this company are incredible.
Indeed. Ah, that's a good
They
point.
are.
Yeah,
And like I say with my sellers, it's the people who make the business or the company.
yeah,
Can't do without them.
we really have to appreciate that for sure. That's one thing that I really noticed that's special about CIG. Of all of the people who I've met at work for that company, they're the best of the best. Like I talk to them
Absolutely.
and I see characteristics that I've seen in industry before, but only by the best people that I've seen in industry. And they just you go there and it's just all of them are all there. It's phenomenal. I don't even know how they got all this. So it's funny when they talk about their hiring process and they're looking for the right caliber of people. I see what they're looking for. They're really looking for special people. So
Right. I mean, you got to be the best at what you do to really even have a chance of getting hired.
absolutely, yeah. And I'm so glad that like they support members of the community, like Astropub, because I saw that he was on this newsletter this month. So I'm like,
Yep.
that's super cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Have you heard about? Oh, sorry to cut you off, but
no,
have
no.
you heard about this? There's this new Discord that was created by the guy who actually created Space Foundry's first like promotional video. It's called Citizens Content Creator, um, and they just combine all of these Star Citizen content creators. Like, I'm not sure if you're like familiar with some of them, but like Rice Maiden is in there,
Oh yeah, I know Rice.
Space Potato. The guy who created it, his name's Gemini. He was featured in some Star Citizen article. Um, but like it's just a great place to go and see what people in Star Citizen are creating, and they're all doing this for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's quite incredible.
Yeah, I don't know why we're doing what we're doing. We're not getting paid for it, but we're still doing it. So
Exactly. But well, I guess it's because we um eh, what did you say before? It's about the investment where it's like a attachment.
Nubafire said that. I don't know.
Nuva Fire, yeah.
Yeah. I don't
We're
know.
attached to the game at this point.
I mean, I
So we
feel
feel like we owe it.
yeah. Well, I feel that it's like my family, really. That's how I look at these guys because
Yeah,
I grew up playing Ultima, which was Origin. The Origin game company produced Ultima, who also did Wing Commander. So a lot of these
right,
people, they're coming over from the Ultima team. So naturally, I'm coming with them, I suppose, as a player.
right. You've been with them since you started.
That's kind of how I feel. I don't know how many other people are like that too, but yeah, where
Yeah,
else am I going to be? Playing Microsoft Flight Simulator.
yeah. Are you? Have you pre-ordered that?
Oh no, I haven't. No, is it available for
Okay.
pre-order?
It's pre-order now. Yeah, it was the 13th, I think. I
Oh,
think they
okay, so
released
it's
it.
pretty new. Okay, I didn't know that. No.
Yep, that game's gonna be unreal,
I know it's gonna be great. Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I had the
Yeah.
opportunity of being a beta tester for it, but I just didn't think I'd be able to allocate any time because I got the opportunity to be a beta tester for Hell Let Loose, and I took it, but then I never used it, and I felt kind of bad about that. So I
Oh
didn't want the
yeah.
same thing for Flight Simulator, and I didn't know about the beta. Like I've totally tuned that out. I guess I figured it was going to come next year. I didn't. I thought COVID was going to throw a
Yeah.
wrench in their plans. So
They really they got a time frame they're meeting.
well, it's Microsoft, right? They better meet their
It
time frames
is.
or else.
Yeah. I mean, it's about time for a new flight simulator, let's be honest.
Yeah. I don't see why. I mean,
X is getting quite old.
sorry, what's getting quite old?
Flight Simulator X.
Oh, X. Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
last one I played.
yeah, it's probably 15 years
So,
old, I think, when it
yeah,
came
that
out.
one's ancient at this point.
Can you imagine playing a video game that's 15 years old and it's still the most up-to-date thing out there?
Yeah, it's
It's
well, I
literally
mean, yeah, yeah, I don't know. It's that game is lasted. It's all true.
it's horrible, honestly. I can't stand It's like World
It
of
really is
Warcraft.
bad.
Yeah, it is. There's so many better games out there. Like DCS is wonderful, but it's only for
Oh,
military
DCS is
aircraft.
great.
Yeah,
You have to be into it though. You have to devote time
it's true.
um, to playing the game.
I hope that Star Citizen becomes the same way. Like I love watching DCS videos and those people who fly like F-14s and they know the checklist off the back of
Absolutely.
their hands. Like I would love that for like you get in your Caterpillar. Hold on, I have to open up my checklist. I have to find out what all the buttons I have to push. I'm sure it'll get that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Maybe you could even have an in game checklist
Yeah.
for each ship. Maybe it's a little different for everybody. But yeah, that's definitely a realism factor that they might add. Hopefully
Fidelity.
will.
Fidelity. Remember the F bomb.
Exactly.
How did you feel about the prison system?
I love it.
Yeah. Have you been to prison
Yeah,
then?
absolutely. I've
Yeah.
escaped many
Oh,
times.
you
I've
have.
actually, I've done it in, I've done a straight sprint through it. I think I got out in like 3 minutes, four
That's
minutes.
pretty damn good. Holy.
Yeah, I was hitting every jump. I was like screaming.
That's
No one was
hilarious.
believing it. It
Is
was
there
crazy.
is there like a leaderboard somewhere of like all the top
I'm sure
speed
someone
runs?
has it.
Yeah, I would
The
love to see
speed
that.
runs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're playing with Burke and Rexzilla, you must be a pretty good Star Citizen player. No, seriously, you got to jump in a stream with me sometime. I stream every morning, okay, and I just do cargo, and I'll
All
tell
right.
you, I'll give you an experience of Star Citizen you've never had before. And people don't believe me when I say it, but I tell you, it's a good time.
All right. How long have you been playing?
I I don't know. I got my account in 2016, but I mean, I followed the Kickstarter project, but I just went through some financial hardships, I suppose, in 2013. So I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
able to really get into it until 2016. So yeah.
Gotcha.
But I basically started as a Caterpillar pilot, and I used to in 2.0, I just flew from one side of Olisar to the other. So
2.0. Wow.
just back and forth on Olisar. That's all you could do, right? So, and I had a
Yeah.
stream for that. That was my stream. I would just sit there and I'd fly from one side of All-Star to the other for 3 hours every morning. So
That's insane.
it is actually
I
insane. That's a good describer.
I mean, just to think of like where the game is now. I think I joined in 3.2. So I had at least like a system
Yeah.
of planets. Well, wait, was there planets?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was planets. That was back when Cryastro was still in.
Yeah. 3.2. I think they got rid of that
That
in
thing was a
3.3.
mess.
Yeah.
The
Cryastro? Yeah.
griefer
Yeah.
nightmare.
That's
People would
true.
just camp there and just pad ram people all day.
Yeah.
And that was the only place you could fix your ship.
Yep. That's right. Yeah. That was wild. And of course, Jumptown. Jumptown was fun. Hope you got a chance to go
Yeah,
at that. So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been there.
That's like the FPS mecca, I think.
Yes.
So, did you see the Star Runner sneak peek that they offered us in the newsletter this week?
No, I
Did you
didn't.
see that? Are you excited for the Star Runner at all? Do you think that'll change things?
They made it bigger, right? If it's the rover now, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that will. I think that's going to be one of the more popular ships in the game when it releases.
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna put. Did you see
Threw it
this?
out everyone.
Did
No, I
you?
didn't.
You didn't. I'm gonna put it up on the main screen right now so you can see
Okay.
it. There you go. That's what it looks like. That's it. That's all they gave us. That looks pretty cool. I guess this is gonna paint the picture on what we should expect from other Crusader ships as well.
Right. Very wide hallway.
White hallway, lots of white. Got the server racks in the back there.
Not asymmetrical.
Yep, that's a good point. Yeah. Is this a popular ship? Do you find? Do you know?
I find it very popular.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just like off of sales, it's pretty popular seller. Um, I think it'll be one of the more popular ships when it releases. It's got everything that you could want.
Yeah. Jad was in here earlier and he was talking about the Starliner. People like Crusader ships, I would say.
Right, yeah. The Starliner seems to be one of those ships that is just gonna be. Well, did they ever mention that they'll make like a commercial pilot a job?
Yeah. That's supposed to be the idea
Okay.
with the 890 jump, actually. You're supposed to be able to ferry VIPs or whatever. So that would be the Starliner would be an extension to that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be. I mean, if you have some extra credits and you don't want to spawn your ship, I guess you can ferry a 890 across the system.
Well, also, like, if you don't own a ship in the game, then you would take a civilian transport to go to your
Right.
destination
That's
as well.
true. Yeah. So you say you get relocated.
Yeah. And I
You got
mean,
to move.
that's a pretty big part of the game right now. Like, every spaceport has the civilian terminals, if you've seen those before, the
That
passenger
is true. Yeah, yeah.
terminals.
And you can walk up there. I guess you get a ticket. I don't know how that'll
I
work.
have no idea. But I mean, I think it's a popular aspect in MMOs. When I played Star Wars Galaxies, we'd all stand by at the starport waiting for the ship to come and pick us up. We get on the ship and then it fly us to our destination. Shuttle. That was so much fun.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Those days I think are gone, but I don't know. I hope they incorporate some of that into the next one. It's cool that the Crusader ships are as popular as they are. I don't even understand why they're so popular because they're not out yet. We don't know what they look like. We
I
don't know
know.
anything about them. People are
We don't even
strange.
have Orion yet
Yeah,
on Crusader. That'll be. Did they took that off the roadmap, didn't they?
they sure did. Yep,
Yeah, of course they
yep.
did.
Who knows? We still might get it by the end of the year, though. I really find it hard to believe they give us Pyro without giving us Crusader. That just seems so odd.
Yeah, that is. I don't think they will.
Unless, of course,
They have to complete it, right?
I would hope so. But it could be held up by some type of networking issue. Because I mean, we have to appreciate the complexities of a gas giant. Like, these are physics in our universe we hardly even understand, and we
Yeah,
have to virtualize that in a game, or
yeah.
whatever.
It's unreal.
Literally,
And I mean, you're literally just guessing at that point, right?
100%. Yeah.
You're like, okay, let's try that. Okay, that just sucked you right in. Let's not do that.
Yeah, like maybe this will be the first iteration of skydiving. Is people just jump off the edge at the Port Orison, and they just fall for like 2 hours straight into the gas
Yeah,
giant.
yeah. What are they gonna have like a little guy swoop down and pick you up?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, you probably have time for it. If you're in an M50 or
Yeah.
something. That was like one of the first games that they had when 3.0 came out. People would jump out of their ships and they'd try and catch them in the cutlass
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Going straight down.
Yeah, that was funny. Anyways, what else we got here? Tell me about the future of Space Foundry. What do you got cooking up for 2020?
What do I got cooking up?
Yeah.
Let's see. So, well, I guess I can say this. I was going to add Eve Online to the site, but some implications have gotten in the way. So we're staying simply just straight Star Citizen for time to come. I'm not sure when I'll get to be adding a game or anything. I definitely have on a different note on some just software that I want to build. Obviously, I want to get into the price matching or the price evaluator type, like the Mr. Fats. I want to build that for my site. I just finished that upgrade system that I was talking about. It's officially called Ship Link. It's pretty useful. It saves people hours of time, and the algorithm was almost impossible to write. Um, so just getting that to work was a feat in its own. Let's see what else. Obviously, the new protection system that we have coming up. It's going to allow sellers and buyers to use the site, feel much more safe. Hopefully, we can get the opportunity of scamming all the way down as far as we can. We haven't had issues with it in the past. I hope that in the future it stays like that. Obviously, there's some people who want to do bad things in the world, unfortunately, and you just have to deal with them when it comes time. But I think that's all I can that's all I can think of right now, as
Yeah,
in the future.
I see what Jad's saying here. Idea of a an LTI helper, I guess. Finds you the cheapest way to get from an LTI, I guess, to your destination.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know if you can post a link to it or I can. Well, I'm not signed in, but if you just, it's not completely done. I'll send it in Discord.
Can I access
Still
it?
work.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone can access it.
Okay. Let's see here.
It's the table that it forms. Just a disclaimer. It's not finished. It's kind of messy, especially when you get it on mobile.
Mobile's hard, man.
Well, yeah. Well, all of my site is functional on mobile and everything. Obviously, I take a lot of pride in making sure that everything works on every single platform. It's one of the hardest things to do on software, keeping everything working.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, this the algorithm we use, because
Yep.
every let's say we take like the 100i, that can upgrade to 100 plus ships, and then those 100 plus ships can all upgrade to 100 other ships. So to define the path, and it finds it in about 3 seconds. It searches the entire marketplace. We have about just over 2,000 listed items right now.
Cool.
It's quite a feat, in my opinion. It's crazy.
Okay, so I
And
just
then
did the 100i to the C2. So
sure,
all of these steps here, this is the cheapest way to get the C2?
that is the only available. Well, there's only one, so that's the only available way. There's no other possible way to get from the 100i you said
Yep.
to the C2
Yep.
on my marketplace.
Wow. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 12. Wow. So 12 steps.
Right. So yeah, some of course there's only one, and actually sometimes it's cheaper to take the longer route because some sellers discount upgrades. Um, so obviously I didn't include price because I didn't want to create. It gets a little bit touchy when you implement a price and then you say buy this seller over this seller, and you can't really do that. So that link will take you to a filtered version. Each one of those links will take you to a filtered version of the marketplace that will only display that specific upgrade.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And you can use if you want to just find that one upgrade, you can use the upgrade from the upgrade to filters on the marketplace. If you just clear those out, you can select any ship and go to any ship.
Oh, I see.
That's what I'm talking about when I say
Ooh.
the ease of use, user accessibility.
Oh, this is great, man. Good work. Honestly, I wish I could applaud you.
It took quite a while.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, it saves people hours. And then the ship link was just the next step from there, because that you could only go from one ship to another ship at a time, and then you would have to like look and see. That just does all of it for you.
I love
So
that.
like an example, or also you can here, I'll share this with you. You can get the shareable URL.
Yeah, I
So
saw
let's
that. I was just
say,
about to say I love the fact that you added a shareable URL on the top.
so yeah, if you click that link I sent you in Discord,
Okay, one
it'll
second.
automatically fill the parameters, which are the inputs, and it'll start loading um, the search for you.
Oh man, that's exciting. Yeah, yeah, it's just taking a sweet little time.
Yep.
Is this just
And
straight
then
JavaScript?
no, we use a backend server. So some of it's, well, obviously there's PHP, Node.
You're using
Um,
PHP? My goodness.
yeah,
My goodness.
it's a little complex.
I guess so. Holy. Yeah, I'm like, how the
But
heck
yeah,
did you do
so
this?
you can see that there's just one upgrade. You can obviously just click that one,
Yep.
or you can take the longer path.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, because the 130 I-30 130C is more efficient, faster way to get there. Or no,
Right.
wait. Oh, it's because I select the 130C. Okay, never mind. Sorry. I see. Okay.
But yep, that's that's our newest addition to the site.
That's good. That's cool.
Yeah,
So you got a lot of exciting things then for the future. You got a full roadmap.
absolutely.
I'm kind of glad that you decided to call back Eve, not go forward on Eve, because I'm sure that Star Citizen will keep you busy enough. You know.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're not even, I don't think we're, like I said, disrupting the market yet. Uh, there's a lot of people who are doing a lot more sales. I know, well, not to mention any names, but I know one seller who does more sales than my marketplace
Okay.
on Reddit. But he's the top seller. I think if you know, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we can do a lot better. I think the more the people figure out about it, the more they realize, hey, that's going to save me time. It's more secure. Um, it's easier to use. Um, I'm just going to use that than having to search for a specific upgrade. It's almost like it's almost impossible for searching for an upgrade on Reddit when you just get into it and you don't know about Mr. Fats or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yep,
Well, I appreciate the fact that you're focusing as much as you are on like dialing down the maliciousness, or at least that seems to be a goal of yours, is to create a platform
absolutely.
that reduces maliciousness,
That
malice.
seems to be the main turn away for most people.
Yeah. Well, there's also kind of, I don't know if it's actual fake news, but it seems like fake news where there's people who are just bashing the gray market just out of what would seem to be nothing, or a collection of bad experiences, I suppose. You know what I mean? Have you talked to anybody?
Possibly.
Have you talked to anybody who's been scammed?
Um, I well maybe one person I think that comes to mind, but I'm not going to mention your names, but it was completely avoidable.
Is it?
It was they saw a ship for 50% off and they thought that's a good deal. I'm going to buy that from a seller that has zero sales.
I see. Yeah.
They're asking for it at that point. Um, Obviously, like we have our rating system on our site, which ties in to the safety and security of the site. Um, so if you want to, buy a product, but maybe that seller has bad reviews, maybe there's another product, but it's a little bit more, but the seller has the best reviews. I would recommend going with the better seller
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, that's true. And like I said this before, but like you got to give it time as well. You're so new. Like
Absolutely.
6 months now, 5 months
Yeah,
that you've been
6 months.
doing this
Well,
for.
we really didn't do anything in March, so it's really
Okay.
been April to half of July,
Yeah.
and we've done, I guess, pretty good compared to other stores.
Yeah. Well, considering, like I said, you're so new. I hope you come back a year from now, and you'll be able to give me a
Absolutely.
breakdown on your year, like how it's been.
Yeah. I can't even think about a year from now. I don't I don't know where it'll be. It could be gone. It could be the biggest ever. You just don't know. Things can change tomorrow.
Yeah. But you know what? Like from what I've seen, people adapt, and there's seems like there's always going to be a gray market in some way, shape, or form, and that's just humanity. It's like we're just opportunists, right?
Exactly.
And
But
maybe eventually you'll get into Eve. Who knows? I think it's good that you just focus on Star Citizen and understand maybe the market. Have you done this in other games before?
no.
Yeah, I wonder if other
So
games are like this.
I no. Well, I looked into Eve quite extensively. Like I figured their market, their market's obviously super complicated, um, way more than Star Citizen. Um, in terms of in-game market, the third party, I don't know if they call it the gray market. I don't think they do, but it's not nearly as complex as Star Citizen as far as what you can and cannot do. It's more about it's much more risky because Eve actually goes after people that do this, and so that's one of the main risks. Like you can get banned pretty easily on Eve for trying to buy some in-game money.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Like, how do people even do it if they can get banned? How do they work around that?
I don't know.
Hmm,
I didn't get that far.
that's sketch. And Jad asks
Yeah.
if you're going to start selling WoW gold.
No, not anytime soon.
Maybe
No.
UEC.
This has been it's a highly debated subject right now.
Yeah. Don't you think
um,
sooner or later it's going to happen though?
yeah. Um, I already set my side up to do it. I haven't released it publicly. Well, now I kind of did, um, but yeah, I built a system for it back right when the trading system was released. The next day, I built a system for selling in-game currency on the site. But obviously, the sellers don't have access to it right now, and I control what they have access to and what they don't. So
Because it's the sellers are already selling it, right?
selling what?
The UEC.
No,
Oh, they're not.
no,
Okay.
no. I don't know any seller that sells UEC unless you do.
Nope. Well, I just
Uh,
figured. Well, I see posts of like credit melt.
okay, so that RSI credit gets really confusing.
Okay.
Um, it's not UEC. Um, unless I have it completely wrong, then tell me. But from what I know, it's actual RSI credit, like in store credit that you can convert to be sold.
Okay, so they're not actually exchanging the money itself then.
No, no, not yet, because there was really no real way to exchange UEC except for like beacons,
Oh
which
yeah.
was super just not like feasible on a large scale. But Jaja, yes, you can buy store credit or UEC with store credit. So I guess you could technically do that, but you can just buy a ship and liquidate. or melt that ship for store credit and also buy UEC. So it's not just store credit. But back to UEC, I tried out the player trading app, and it looks like there's a 0.5% tax that they have on it right now. And in the testing, they had 6%. I wasn't sure what it was going to be, but I do see that becoming a huge market, bigger than ships, closer to when the game releases.
Do you think that's a good thing? Do you think that's a good thing? Gold farming, gold selling?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say really. Um, Obviously, if people want to sit there and farm for 24 hours a day, and that's fine. And if they want to make some money from it, I think that's fine. Um, they can sell it on my store, but obviously, I have nothing against it, and I'm not gonna like market it, like sell UEC on my store. I'm not gonna do any of that. But yeah.
Is there any reason why you would not want to have it on your store? Because you're almost adverse to it, even though you kind of built the functionality. What's the downside to having it?
Um, you kind of, I think, yes, what Blazemonger said. It's more of a in-game. Um, I don't know if it's not a cheat, but it's just it's like you're just there without having to work at all. You can buy whatever you want. It's different than buying ships, which are have function. You're just buying money, um, which then you can buy whatever you want with. Like in Eve, the ISK trading is like the biggest part of the market,
That's true. Yeah.
and that gets super dicey, especially with like exchanges. I was really surprised that they were going to let anyone exchange with anyone, even if the other person wasn't online. That really shocked me.
For Star
So,
Citizen.
is for Star Citizen.
Yeah.
So you could just sit there, farm 50 million, and I don't know what the selling price will be for it. It'll probably be under what is it like uh, one for 1,000 UEC, $1 for 1,000 UEC. It'll probably be like 75 cents or 80 cents or whatever.
Yeah.
But uh, I don't know. It's selling currency is like for some reason it's just like the next level. It's like kind of it's like ships, currency, and then accounts. And I don't sell accounts, obviously, because that's just you're asking for trouble at that point. If you're not already asking for trouble to get in the gray market, but you know, I don't think I will be doing it right away. I definitely won't be the first one to do it. That's for sure.
I wonder if we'll start seeing more scammers now that we have the trading app. If we'll start seeing scammers try to sell UEC, AUEC.
Um, I think it's going to be the same as ships.
Yeah.
I mean, you can obviously there's people who don't think with their heads, I guess, when they're going about a trade and they give people money who aren't reputable without receiving a ship. Obviously, for UEC, well, that's why where I kind of come in. I'm kind of like a broker. I would describe myself more as like a middleman. Um, you hold the money while the buyer gets the item, and then you pay the seller. So I don't think it's going to be any different than ships. It's going to be the same amount of risk reward. Um, but yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting.
I know, right? They used to have brokers in the gray market in the past. Do they not have brokers anymore?
They do.
They still do, yeah.
I know. Well, technically, my account's labeled as a broker. Um, I know a couple other brokers that are reputable. Obviously, some people say they're brokers and they're, I don't know. It's just unfortunate that people would want to take advantage of other people, um, but it happens
Yeah.
way too much.
Yeah, that's true. And it doesn't help either that there's so much to it. Like you can so easily get lost in all of it. And if you're new to the game and like, the amount of people that come here and, "Oh, why can't we buy a Caterpillar? I just want to buy a Caterpillar." Okay, well, time to go down the rabbit hole of the gray market, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Once you get in, you're not leaving.
That's true.
I don't know. I don't know many people who buy one ship and don't come back.
I am so inspired by some of those guys that make a living off of this. Like it's just what they do, and I think it's just so
It,
cool.
they make more than a living off of it.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. Those
They've
guys.
they've they've created jobs that they didn't. CIG has created jobs that they didn't mean to create.
And I think that's a great thing. I think we should be creating more jobs because I think as we move forward into the future, especially in times of COVID, that unemployment's going to become an issue. And I think, we should be creative with our job creations.
Yeah. I mean, uh, I agree. Where there's opportunity, there's going to be people that try and seize the day.
Sure. Yeah. Opportunists. And I mean, as long as there's people like you out there who are genuine and want to do good things, then I think good things can happen.
Yeah, definitely try and make sure that's well known with throughout everyone. Um, that I'm not here just to make some money off of a video game. I started this because I saw a gap in user friendliness, so I created it,
That's
and
good.
now we're here.
Yeah. Well, you've done a heck of a job so far. So we are over the 2 minute or 2 hour mark, so probably wrap it up. Is there
Yeah.
any icing on the cake maybe you'd like to mention? This will be on YouTube afterwards, so yeah. Anything else that I might have missed?
Um, hmm, I don't think so. I think we covered pretty much all of it today.
That's good.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
well
it.
that's good. Okay, well, thank all you guys who watched today. Thanks so much for contributing to the chat. Check out space-foundry.com. Check out his website. This is LiquidForce. Did a great job here. I'm going to be back here again next week. I get Tessa Dion, who is from the United Earth Mining Corporation. We're going to have a chat with her, so that'll be wonderful as well. And LiquidForce, thank you so much for spending time with me this Friday. And good luck with the next year, man.
Absolutely. Thank you. I'll definitely have to play with you sometime here
Yes,
soon.
you have to come by my stream.
Learn a
Absolutely.
few tricks.
I don't know about that. It's just a fun time. That's all. All right. Anyways, thanks again, guys. I'll move you guys off to Carbon Tales, and I hope you guys have a good week.